Greetings and welcome to ShadowStar. I'm Ri'shad, aka the Renegade, and this is a Star Trek Online Starship visual review, where we will be taking today a look at the Caelian class, the new legendary Intel multi-mission explorer, aka the legendary Vesta. Now, we will be taking a look at the updated visuals on the legendary Vesta in brief here, and we will take a look at just the general visuals and styles that you get, but that will have a very light touch on it. And will be covered first alongside the possible customization options you have of the legendary vessel. But then we'll go into more focused detail on the Caelian herself. And then finally, we'll wrap it up by taking a look at all of the Vanity Shield options that I can possibly show. Unfortunately, I do not have access to all Vanity Shield options, so I do apologise on that one. Now then, with that being said, without further ado, I'm Ri'shad. Shall we begin? So please allow me to introduce you to the Caelian, a magnificent and beautiful starship that we will be taking a better look at shortly. Though I will state now that I hope I wasn't alone in also seeing very Star Wars aspects to this ship. I know the comparison happens a lot between Star Wars and Star Trek, and I am definitely guilty of doing it myself. However, in this situation, I really feel like it's fitting because the angles just work for it. But I have to say, I love the look of the Caelian class. At the same time, I love the updated visuals to the Vesta. Now, those of you that remember the Vesta originally will probably remember much more narrow nacelles on her, sort of more narrow pylons. The impulse ray, though looking about the same as it currently does, was nowhere near as bright. The underside of the belly seemed to be longer, I do believe. I'm not 100% on that one. And overall, things just... it felt right, but it also felt like something was kind of off. That's not to say that the original model of the Vesta didn't look good. It's kind of funny now though when you consider that here's Vesta Beta, and that was the original hull. Don't know if you noticed that change, but it definitely didn't look anywhere near as good as the new Vesta hull. The new Vesta hull itself being almost completely white, so much so that if you pull it on the Caelian, you end up with this, which I'm not going to complain at. If you just put Vesta Beta on her, well, the blue hull comes through. What you see on, don't get them wrong, the Aventine and the Raidmaker, the two tier 5 variants of this ship. Oh, maybe it was the Raidmaker I was thinking of for the lower hull. In a way, you can sort of tell from looking at these ones kind of how the Vesta used to look. And if I'm honest, I'm very glad that Cryptic has gone back to it and overhauled the look. Now personally, I am a big fan of the Raidmaker and I think she looks wonderful. Even more so now that you can give her a much nicer hull update. Really helps her out. If you have the tier 6 variants already, you may have already seen the Esquilin, which is my personal favourite of the tier 6 Vestas. The Bridget, which is a lot of people's personal favourites, and I cannot blame them. I love that secondary pod on the top there. And the Paladin, which is the one that I always felt just didn't quite look right. I don't know if it... I think it's more because of the flatness of it that kind of then disagrees with the rest of the body. But hey, to each their own. I know some people do like the Palantir, and I can't argue against it. I think I would probably like the Palantir more if the pylons were just a little bit raised, but I understand why they're not. It was to literally create the ability for people to put the nacelles at almost any height. And if you want to raise them, well, it doesn't take much to put the Esquilin ones on and achieve what I'm talking about. Which kind of makes me like this one. There are some finer, decent details to look at on these ships, like for example, the difference between the Esquilins and the Brigid's slipstream deflector is quite nice. I personally do prefer the Brigid's slipstream deflector, but hey, that's probably just me. It's just something about the flow and feel of it that I feel more relation to. Probably why I like the Caelians, which is following a similar style if not exact. On that point on the Caelian, we'll also bring up that unlike with a lot of Intel ships, the Caelian does not have a second version which allows you to cover up the intelligence style plating, I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it intelligence style plating. We'll look at that when we look at this in finer detailing. I'm a little bit disappointed in that because they gave us that with the other 3 Federation Intels. I do feel like they should have left it here, but okay, they didn't, it's fine. Who cares? On the Vesta herself though, there are just distinct things I really feel should be said. A little credit given where credit is due. If you've seen the artist depictions of the Vesta class, maybe from the novels or alternate sources, oops, sorry, I had to interrupt myself there. That definitely would have been picked up by the microphone. Oopsie. Yeah. You'll notice that she definitely feels more in touch with her artistic style. There are a few things that I will question though, like why is the name and the registry different colours? They're both from the same part of the hull here. A little bit of an oversight, but okay. The saucer itself, I love the new detailing on. It's kind of unfortunate that it makes the others look, even with the new Vesta hull, the others don't look quite as good as the Vesta's one does now, but okay, fair play. Maybe given time, we'll see the Aventine and the Raidmaker remastered, so to speak. But honestly, I don't feel any discredit should be given for the fact that they are absent, because in truth, it is the Vesta that Ezri Dax commanded. Well, the Vesta class that Ezri almost guaranteed the microphone picked that up. What I was going to say is, the one thing that really stands out to me is just how close to the artist depiction the Vesta now is. There are some minor things I would probably tell Cryptic to look back on. Nameplate versus registry, for example. But overall, the ship looks absolutely amazing now. I love the new almost water-like look to the warp coils. Hopefully you can see the animation going on inside there. There's a similar animation or clouded effect inside the Ri'shad collectors. The deflector looks absolutely amazing. It's a little bit of a shame versus the Aventine and the Raidmaker now, because unfortunately both of them stand out like a sore thumb and no longer look anywhere near as good as the Vesta does. But overall, it's understandable why the Vesta was the one that got the overhaul and only the Vesta. It is the Vesta that Ezri Dax commanded, or the Vesta class that Ezri Dax commanded. I can't remember the name of her ship. I think it was the USS Aventine, actually. And, well, as we go into the more detailed look on the Caelian, there's one thing I do have to definitely scream at here. Honestly, I feel like the Vesta class is probably one of the most intelligently designed Starfleet ships. One, because of how much hangar space it gives itself and how it's been utilized. The fact that this takes from both the Sovereign and the Intrepid, so it has all the capabilities of a incredible science vessel like the Intrepid class, or an explorer like the Intrepid, but also has all the combat capabilities of something like the Sovereign class. I would say there's hints on this ship as well that come directly from the magnificent Defiant, though they are far more subtle. And honestly, I want to see how well this transfers over into the Caelian. Truth be told, is pretty damn well. In fact, I think the Caelian does things even better than the Vesta. In fact, the Caelian just does things even better overall. This is far more of a military ship, in my personal opinion. Hell, I get very much a submarine feel from this ship. One of the things, though, I feel like should be pointed out, though, if I go into patterns and pick up on the Vesta, because this is kind of funny to do. I did find this hilarious, so it has to be shown to me, in my opinion. Yeah, so, was it Iron Man, anyone? It's the Iron Vesta. No, I really do like the Vesta pattern, because this isn't just on this ship alone. There are distinctive hull types which will allow you to use the Vesta paint. Oops, not the Defiant. Don't know why not the Defiant, but apparently not the Defiant. And as a result, you can come up with some absolutely beautiful looking aesthetics in full colour shrouding or partial, and I feel like this is going to help us see some more colourful ships of the fleet. Certainly to say, I am very happy seeing it. Now, to the negativity and customization though, unfortunately the Caelian wasn't very well tested against the originals, such as the Rigid. Let me show you, for example. I did show this in the stats review, so you might want to skip over this if you watch the stats, but I think we'll go with Esquilin for the hull, sorry, for the saucer. And you can already see here some of the clipping going on. Go on the underside, and deflector's heavily clipped. If I go to the upper side, I think it was the Rigid I want on top here. No, it's not the Rigid. The Rigid actually works on this. No, it doesn't. Look at the back there, you got a window clipping artificially into the hull. Where is it? There we go, Raidmaker. The escape pods are part of the hull again, apparently. It's disappointing because some of the ones which I like the most and would love to use in this ship also have clipping issues that make it, for someone like me with an excessive eye for detail, it's a bit of clipping I cannot ignore. You might say, or when you're fighting with the ship, you're not really going to notice it. Oh, you'd be surprised. It's why I started doing cinematic videos, because this kind of thing stands out to me. I would like to say it gets better if you reverse it. Say you want to go with the Caelian's hull, but change out the Caelian saucer, but change out the hull. For the most part, you would be correct. Except then we come into the issue of deflector again. Not all of them. I will say it's not all of them. Windows in this one's case. But there are just certain ones where the clipping is almost not forgivable. This one seems to be on a pass, the Esquilin. Unfortunately, the Esquilin is one of my lesser favourites of them, but maybe it gets a pass because of that. Palantine, yep, deflectors issue. Raidmaker! Hell, Vesta. Even the Vesta, which you'd have thought they'd have actually been really cautious on. Nah, sorry, I'm seeing clip issues that just bug me. And I know I should probably be more gentle and lax on that, but I can't, because that's just who I am. Another last thing to mention, that we do have the Type 1 intelligence hull, which has a sort of metallic feel to it, certain elements of it. I would just like to note that when you get this ship, the intelligence Type 2, as far as I've been able to find on the other intels, does not become available for you. So do not expect to be using the intelligence Type 2 on your Eclipse, your Scry, or your Phantom. Unless I've got a random glitch that no one else seems to have. Now then, with that being said, let's get out to details. Woo! So, yes, I know there's actually an updated version of Demo Recall, which I did consider using, but I don't know why. I find this one so much more comfortable. Is it just me? Anyone else that uses Demo Recall, please let me know what you think of the present two. Well, I only know 2 versions to use. Meanwhile, hello, ISS Esri, NCC 1998N. If you figure that code out, nice. You'll probably appreciate just as much as I do. Okay. Here is, simply put, an absolute beauty of a starship. I'm just going to get that said right now. I know there are some people that don't like the look, but I personally am a massive fan of the way she looks. I think this is a beautiful evolution, or you could even say perhaps a beginning, if you want to say maybe Section 31 developed this ship and then to be more in line with standard Federation norms, they introduced the Vesta line. But I don't think that's what's happened here. I feel like the Vesta was so successful in its role that the intelligence agencies basically turned around and went, right, we need to develop a better version of this ship that we can utilize for our intelligence vessels. And there is so much going on with this ship that I'm not even sure where to start if I am quite frankly, completely honest. So, actually, let's start with one of my absolute favourite pieces, and that is the unusual nacelle design. I say unusual because, well, it's a tuning fork. If you'd seen all the other nacelles and looked at them carefully, you would have noticed that they are atypical. Yes, I'm being sarcastic and joking. So, why is it this is such a pull back away from that? I mean, within the pylon attachment, it's about what you'd expect. It does the split and holds the two nacelles. And in most Starship's cases, they've gone, okay, well, we're splitting it like a tuning fork. Let's keep it like a tuning fork. It won't be attached at the front. The Facade Collector would be the top half and bottom half, where you can see these blue grills. You can consider almost all of that being a red Facade Collector. But instead, no. They're just there for focusing and whatnot. You have these two blue elements at the front, which personally to me make them feel very menacing. Make the forward segment of themselves very menacing in look. Menacing. It's a nemesis, kind of. And then they have this very simple, very small Facade Collector. And if you look at the size of the ship, those are really small Facade Collectors overall. And what it makes me believe is, well, what we're actually seeing here is an incredibly potent Facade Collector, is the way I view this as working. A small shielding, whatever it is. There's not even shielding at this point, because the facades should be within, the actual collector should be in there, the red should be the shielding. But if you look at the shape of it and the way it's positioned, it's not even doing that. So it completely breaks all norms for Facade Collectors. And it got me to thinking, maybe I'm misreading this. Maybe this is the first time we're seeing a almost transparent Facade Collector shroud. And hopefully my mouse is on screen. But you can see here that lip that hangs over the top. Come over at it like that. That lip that hangs over the top. If you take that, connect it to the bottom half, and just think of it as being a dome all around the front there. And actually, this red element is what would normally be found within the Facade Collector. Normally that circle spinning, whatever you want to call it, because I don't actually remember the name for it. That is the element that's normally hidden behind the Facade Shroud, being protected. And in this case, you can see all the elements because it's got a transparent shielding on, and it makes it look far more menacing, but also gives it a sort of elegant look. I don't even try to describe it. For me, the easiest way to describe it is actually, I'm not even sure that fits in. When I look at it, I think of like a pendant that you may wear around your neck. A simple design with a little bit of artistic flair and expression that some people will like, some people will hate, but it's there to give it style and finesse. I love about it. And it's not too big, it only goes back so far, then as I said, breaks into that tuning fork design and comes down here. Which is brilliantly designed because one of the cells have line of sight on each other. You can see the warp coils can see each other, yes. And at the same time, I believe this is one of those ships that completely dominates over the rule of two. Sith reference. Sorry, pairs rule in the cells. And proves how actually you can see a single nacelle and still have a pair of coils to create the warp field. And to see it, all you gotta do is look at the inside of these. Yeah, I'll come in here like that. There you go. Boom! Straight down, you can see it. Perfect line of sight. In fact, probably not even any energy loss because they're that close together. Technically, one of these nacelles should be able to form the warp bubble for the ship. Because a warp bubble doesn't form like... I know a lot of people think a warp bubble forms in the center and then creates a singular bubble, but that's not actually how they work. It's not, so to speak, that the nacelle creates a bubble of a set size. A ship, this one ship alone, could create the warp field for 5 or 6 ships. It would be a massive expense of energy. And probably would not have enough energy left over for it to actually propel itself. It would have to be locked with tractor beams to the other ships, and the other ships would have to drag it along. But in theory, that could be done. And I think this ship is working on a matter of it has 2 warp bubbles that it creates that sort of overlap each other to protect the whole ship. One of those ones where you straight up would not need a line of sight and still be able to develop the warp bubble to propel the ship. With them also being so close together, that would also be less expensive energy, and therefore if you lost one nacelle, this ship could still go to warp because it still has the other nacelle. It's not expending energy trying to get the radiation from left to right. It's doing just a very short distance, and therefore it can expend even more energy it's saving to completely encase the ship and go up to speed. I think what I'm trying to say is I just love the artistic flair and the actual versatility of this kind of nacelle design. But moreover, I just love how beautiful they look. The grills, the elements, the vent at the very back here, the grilling at the front, which if you put the Galaxy class hull on this ship looks absolutely gorgeous. Not going to lie. These are my second favourite nacelle designs. The only nacelles that I like more than them, I still like more than them, are the nacelles of the Gargarin and the Shenzo class. I think it's the Shenzo. Those two sharing the same nacelle design. Now, since we started at the back, let's talk pylons. Pylons once again have the impulse array within the actual pylon itself, just like the Vesta does, sort of coupling in with the primary impulse array which is found on the saucer. Now ordinarily on the Vesta these are quite large. I like how with this intelligence variation they've been slimmed down and they sort of fit the profile of the ship brilliantly. On the Vesta and certain other ships of a similar design, you could say the Intrepid, I've always thought, moreover the ones that go on the pylons definitely, but also sometimes on the main saucer or hull, it's very easy for the impulse array to break the feel of the ship. However, in this case, they're that well done that they actually benefit the profile of the pylons, and I'd even say on the saucer section for the primary impulse array benefits the look of the saucer in a way that makes them look functional but also artistically elegant. And I think that's going to be my main thought on this ship altogether. Normally I'd say a ship looks very sleek, but in the case of this one, it's elegant, almost exquisite. I adore this vessel. Away from those beautiful impulse rays, and hello to these beautiful ones too, which are just as, like I said, artistically beautiful for the ship. We have the unbelievably well thought out evolution to the Vesta's hangar. Ordinarily, you'd have a door. This one's using a force field. I would like to think a door could close across it. Well, there's a door inside it, so I guess so. I just wonder why there's the gap. Then again, the raid maker, I think it was the raid maker, would have this entire section domed in one massive force field, so maybe that's a hint of crossover there. I just noticed the pylons are actually attached further down towards the back than I originally realised. That is such a subtle detail that I did not notice. Alongside this, excellent nameplate placement. Plenty of room for runabouts and that to land on. I would assume you have runabouts and shuttles on this ship. Based on its size, honestly, probably only about 2 runabouts, but hey. What I will say though, is that much like I say, the Vesta was intelligently designed, it follows up into here because this ship essentially has such a, I'm going to go with versatile capability with its spacious hangar that it very clearly has, and very clear flight deck at the top here, just hanging over the hangar. That or I'm going to say flight command deck. Now I am willing to say this ship could probably be carrying wings of fighter craft if necessary, and actually make fighters useful in the Star Trek universe. Bearing in mind that, unlike with Star Wars and similar, in the Star Trek universe, fighters are actually less viable. Mostly because the way the weapon systems work in the Star Trek universe would mean that a lot of fighters would be punched out the sky really easily without making them have to be bulked up in size to have much more capable defensive armor plating or shielding. But, that being said, by this age in Star Trek, it wouldn't surprise me if they come up with a level where actually they're making capable fighters that could beat the living hell out of smaller ships and survive a few gunshots from bigger ships such as the Caelian. Now, from here, I just want to go up to the flight deck itself, which I love the shape and design of. I like the fact that they've gone with this more diamond shape. It's got its sensor node on top, if that's not an omnidirectional. I'm pretty sure it's a sensor node. I could be mistaken. You have these 2 whopping great big vents right next to it, which I'm not sure what they're for, but hey. Let's discuss that in some other point. Comment section, people. What I really like here is the fact that you can see that at the back here, they've got the view on the actual shuttle launch itself. But I would say at the front here is the command section for this, and it's where you'd have the people commanding maybe the fighters or the runabouts, or actually just leading runabouts and array missions, because I see there's probably only 2 runabouts in here. It could be 4, because this could be a very deep hangar bay with plenty of shuttles and runabouts in there. And this deck is just in permanent operation, similar to the bridge. Basically a secondary command point where they are, let's go with organising the alternate missions of Runabout 1 and Runabout 2, while Shuttlecraft 1 and 2 are down on the planet surface, and Shuttlecraft 3 and 4 are navigating a nearby star just to see what the weird radiation spike was from it. And this is the point on the ship, which is keeping an eye on all of that and giving any information it requires to the bridge. So the bridge can say, well, actually, it looks like Shuttlecraft 4 could use some assistance. The ISS Esri will head over there and use its sensor array to perform the more detailed scans. Such and such. The thing to keep in mind with this ship is, it is a very, very high-class, high-tech ship. If you take just, even for Star Trek standards and Starfleet itself, this ship is a next level of technology. The Vesta integrated the quantum slipstream drive and transwarp. It was one of, if not the fastest canon Starfleet vessels. In fact, I wouldn't be too surprised if in Picard we actually had someone turn around and go, yes, have you heard of the Vesta class? It's the present fastest starship in the whole of the Federation. Because that's what the Vesta's supposed to be. It's just a completely next generation of ship. Making the poor Intrepid, which was the fastest at the time, seem like a bit slowpokey. I mean, quantum slipstream drive is going to do that to you. Moreover now, I said that looks like a command deck. I could be mistaken, and that could actually be the bridge. Now, I want to argue slightly against this, but again, this is more why I say this ship has a submarine feel to me. Think about where a submarine... Actually, I'm not even sure where a submarine's bridge is. But a submarine always has that visual tower for viewing, and I've always felt like that's under that. The bridge is underneath that. And on this ship, I get a similar feel, but not quite. I don't think the bridge is back there with the hangar bay and all that. I think it's more towards the centre, maybe in between the impulse array and the source's impulse array. But instead of being near the top of the ship like you normally find bridges, this bridge is in the actual heart and core of the ship. Unless you want to tell me it's underneath this plate here, but I still feel like that plate there is something to do with some intelligence node that can be launched. Or a special sensory platform. Or maybe even the captain's yacht launches from there, because I'm sorry, there's definitely not a captain's yacht underneath this ship. Maybe that opens up delatching and you get the aero shuttle from this ship. I don't know. I don't care too much. I think... Honestly, the absence of a bridge from the top of the ship was a brilliant stylization choice and worked really well for me. Another thing I absolutely adore on this ship, another thing, is actually the registry and nameplate. Not just being on the back of the hangar, or the very nose of the ship, but the fact that it's also on the side of the ship. And to me, that's the bit that really made it with the nameplates for me. If they pull it down on the saucer sides, it wouldn't look right. The fact that they chose to follow near the spine of the ship and pull it there, brilliant, brilliant idea. I've only just noticed that each one of these escape pods are numbered. Each one of these are numbered, but they're not... Is that 28 there? Yeah. They're numbered, but not numbered smartly. Oh well. Oh, it's not a big deal. There's nothing wrong with a bit of repeat numbers here, there and everywhere. Maybe it's just the... Actually, I'm not even sure. Since obviously the numbers on the pods don't coincide with the pod itself, what do you reckon the numbers represent? I'll leave that one in the comments section. Now, hello Intelligence Grill that I really wish could be covered over. Can we please note how beautiful that looks? In truth, the reason I covered it over in the past was because on the old Intel ships of similar idea and style, they didn't quite look right. But on this ship, and the actually depth to it, this to me feels like a sort of sensor platform or sensor array that is so well refined that it doesn't matter what level of encryption the Obsidian Order are using. This thing probably detects the transmissions, breaks away at the encryption, takes a bit of time to decipher, and then goes, "Ah, here you go, here's the message that the Obsidian Order was sending. Turns out Renard Tain is not just still alive, but he's currently transported his brain inside this jar that's connected to a computer, and he's leading the entire Cardassian Order now." Garrick would be proud. It's a design choice that I really like. I do. Honestly, it's when I see detailing like this, I think Cryptic has done such a remarkable job. Cryptic, please keep up this level of detailing. You have the secondary deflector at the front here, with 2 torpedo launchers now on the top. More on them in a second. Go underneath and you have the beautiful deflector design, which I think is a brilliant evolution to the large deflector and secondary deflector or quantum slipstream deflector built into it. To me, using the secondary deflector and primary deflector as they have done, it sort of alludes to the combining of technologies. The slipstream deflector is now one and the same with the whole deflector system, making it far more efficient. You've got all this venting and grilling, which to me just comes across as enhanced cooling for the ship. More modules that are the sensor platforms or the omnidirectionals, and you come all the way to the back here, and it's like there's another deflector at the rear. Can this ship do reverse? Okay, every ship can reverse warp, but I'm sorry, how did you think deflectors work? Deflectors don't have to be facing forwards. As they note, deflector shields. Yeah, it's funny that Picard's been doing that, isn't it? Deflector shields to maximum? What? Do you mean you now have deflector shielding, deflector shields? Case in point, one thing I do want to make very clear here is there is a difference between deflector shields and deflector shielding. Deflector shields could be eminent to a type of shielding such as regenerative shielding, where in the case of deflector, or maybe refractive, it deflects energy away from the shielding to prevent penetration to it. Whereas deflector shields are literally, the deflector shield is literally there to make sure particles don't suddenly burst all the way through the hull while you're traveling at light speed and basically blow the ship up by hitting the main reactor. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Oh, hello RCS, I like your design because, to be honest, I'm not really a big fan of the massive yellow RCS thrusters. Weapons on this ship. Before we go into any of the last parts to talk about weapons, I would talk about sizing of the ship, but I think you can tell from the little windows and how few windows there are that this ship is super armoured, but also very large, actually. Technically it's larger than the Vesta. Technically, it's, looking at this, I think it's larger than the Sovereign. I'm pretty sure the Sovereign was slightly larger than the Vesta. And I think, even moreover, this ship is actually larger than the Sovereign. Not 100% about that. I never even noticed that was there. Hello. I'm reading from a notes here for bits that I want to look at. I never noticed that. It's not even on the notes. Hello there. You just interrupted me. Right. Yes, weapons. Last thing I've got noted here. Let's see at the back of this ship, shall we? 2 beam strips. Nice. Right on the aft of the ship, go up on the upper side, and you've got 2 more beam strips. Well positioned so they can see very nicely. Beautiful. 2 torpedo tubes. Again, it's very nice. If they're not sensor nodes, you possibly have 2 omnis, 1 on top, 1 on bottom. Go towards the front, there's possibly 1 more there. Another 2 strips at the front. Okay, that would get into 6 strips. Another 2 strips at the front underneath. Another now up to 8 strips. Ship's not overly armed. I appreciate that. Possibly more omnidirectional, so 3 at the front, 2 at the back, 5. Let's get us up to 13 plus 2 torpedo tubes, which are a little bit heavily built in there, but technically the nozzle isn't in the hull, so they can fire. Technically. Cryptic, you might want to raise them just a little bit because that is skimming the saucer surface as it fires. This ship is not overly armed. Not over the top at all, and I actually really appreciate that. It's got anywhere between 8 to 13 beam banks, and it has 4 torpedo launchers. In the Star Trek universe, that's a lot of firepower, because this ship is using very long strips. Each of those strips will standardly have multiple emitter points. If you take my standard generation, you're looking at each one of them strips being able to fire off at around about, I'm going to say 2 or 3 beams. Hey, advancements may mean this is up to 4 or 5 from each beam point. This ship can do a lot of damage very quickly. Personally, I like the fact they didn't overdo it, because there are many situations, the Giorgio class for example, where a ship is so immensely armed it's kind of frightening. But at the same time, this ship has just got it balanced in just a way that is well armed, but it's not over the top. Thank you again, Cryptic. Whoever designed this ship, I wish I got his name. Definitely put a lot of thought into it before flinging it all together. One last thing before we go and take a look at something else. Just something I forgot to show. So we're back to customization. Whoop! Come here. Oh, Caelian. I can't remember how you're supposed to say it. I think it's Caelian or something like that. Meant to show this sooner. Can I show it to Sovereign? Yes! One of the things I really like on this ship, I'll show it right here now. Pinstriping. So easy would it have been to have had it red and gold or whatever colour they wanted to use for pinstriping. I love the fact that they went out of their way and actually put this beautiful black, not even black, sorry, grey pinstripes on it, which with most of the arms in the ship look absolutely beautiful. And as much as this ship looks absolutely wonderful in its standard intelligence hull armour, I have to be honest with you guys, I'm actually more of a fan of it. When you go away from those and you plant on the ship one of the other variants, I'm a big fan of the Vesta hull armour on this ship, to be honest. As much as I took the mick out of yellow RCS, I think the yellow looks really beautiful. I've just realised there's fins on the underside from the nacelles. Ooh. talk about elegance and design, it's a very, very elegant looking ship. Honestly, it's one of those ships where I don't know how to define what it is I feel when I look at it, but I absolutely adore it. I think, personally speaking, alongside the Baran, this is my favourite looking ship. If the Baran is my favourite for nacelle design, this is my favourite to nacelle. And the Baran and the Caelian are definitely drawing with each other. Such beautiful starships. And with that being said, well, enjoying this look a little bit, let's go and take a look at the Vanity Shield options, shall we? Ha! Loading in here, I ended up coming across a Flat Earthers video. Woo! Okay! Right. Vanity Shields. Here we go. Get that off the screen, would you there? Oh wow, can you see everything I'm planning on here? Right. Which one do we begin with? Well, of course, the beginning. Buy all Vanity Shield. Hello there. See, this is half the reason why I swapped the whole armor out. It's just to help things stand out more. Not gonna lie, the Biol on the ship looks pretty good. I love how the intelligence array, sense array, whatever you want to call it, picks up a glow depending on the angle you're looking at it from. She's a beauty. This is gonna be fun. Next up, Bulg, the cooperative Vanity Shield. I'm sorry, but does anyone watch Picard and now think that we're now going to get another Vanity Shield and it's going to be called the Ultimate Bulg Vanity Shield, so to speak? I don't know. I'm sorry. Not a bad look for the ship, I'll give it that. Not amazing, but not bad. At least it doesn't have the texture issues that the Bulg Juggernaut currently has. Cryptic. Next up, Discovery Refit. Do I have to? Well, okay, it's not too bad. Doesn't do the ship any real justice. I love the fact that it's barely changed the impulse array. I'm actually happy about that. The parts of the shield that I don't like weren't able to negatively impact it. This one could be negatively impacted due to its torpedo launchers. Discovery Vanity Shield, and it didn't. It doesn't have the stupid orange grilly torpedo launchers taking the entire box of the torpedo launchers and texture. Yes, thank God for that. Or maybe they fixed the glitch that was coming from it. Overall, that actually looks really good. Not going to lie, I like it. Okay. Come on. Emerald Chain Intel Juggernaut. Oh, wow. Gives the ship a very industrial feel as opposed to very high tech. Not sure how I feel about it, but it is a nice look. It's a shame it didn't change the blue glow to the intel array, make it white, then it would have really worked. Emperor's Vanity Shield. I mean, it's not bad. I'm just a little bit surprised. The white elements have been changed to the purple, which looks kind of nice. The weapons look kind of nice as well. It's the intelligence array. The fact the blue kind of doesn't. The blue does pop with the hole, but it also somehow feels out of place. I'm not sure if I like it or not. Next, I love how long it takes for me to load in all my bridge officers. Is it that bad? Is it that bad? Fekari. Not happy. Red elements glowing blue, not happy. Okay. I would hate to imagine the ship ever getting in a condition where it looks like this, because it's such a wonderful and beautiful ship, but hey, in the near future, if it crashes on a planet, this is what you could be finding on a planet's surface. And then someone could Takuvma it. Light the torch of the Federation and bring the Federation back from the dead. Discovery Season 5. Ferengi. Oh, this is going to be interesting, isn't it? I love how the grills there have got purple and sort of latinum put into it. Mind you, the weapons themselves are laced in latinum, so okay. Well, the venting grill underneath are all laced in latinum. Everything is laced in latinum. Everything that's grill-wise, latinum. Why? Oh. And then you line everything in such a valuable metal such as gold. Oh, then again, you encase latinum gold. So, Ferengis, people, Ferengis. Next up, Herc. Oh, that's weird. I didn't realise I tipped the ship down. Yink. That's weird, and it actually works. And I don't like the fact that it works, but I like the way it looks. Oops, jerky a bit. Can you tell I was nodding right then? It's not a bad look, actually. Herc gets a good spot in there. Kelvin Divergence. I'm so sorry, Ceiling Class. I'm really sorry I've done this to you. What a horrible hull to put on this ship. Hey guys, if you want a Kelvin Divergence look, just use the NX refit hull, or yeah, hell, use the Vesta hull, or Type 0. All three look absolutely amazing on this ship, so yeah, go with those. Kelvin can be skipped. Wow. Excuse me. Medical Vanity Shield. Wow. Yeah, okay. Why is the yellow glow green? And it's the fact that they can do that. The fact that they are actually able to make the yellow glow green makes me wonder why on earth They don't do that with all Vanity shields. Why? If it changes the grills to red, are they still got their blue glow? If it changes the grills to green, why does it still have a random purple glow? I think you guys can guess which ships I'm talking about. Looks like the vents are still laced in latinum. Next up, yeah, I've got no comments for that one. Platinum. Well, that looks really nice. Oh, that's my favourite. This is definitely my favourite. I've been flying this ship since I got it. It's the main ship I've been flying at the moment, alongside the Baran, ironically. And I'm kind of wishing I looked at the Vanity shields earlier, but I didn't let myself do it because I knew I was going away on holiday, and I just don't like to spoil myself. So I tried to not look at many of them. Platinum is definitely my favourite. Section 31, you're not allowed to look bad, and you didn't fail. I'll tell you what, Section 31 looked bad on this ship. Oh, I would have lost my mind. But I'll tell you now. I don't know if I prefer Section 31 or Platinum. They both look really good on this ship. I think I like Platinum more. That's probably coming down to the fact that I've been looking at the Type 2 intelligence hull for so long that I'm liking a change in look. Hello. You look horrible. Oh. Wow, you do not suit this ship. Sorry to anyone that does actually like it. I apologise if you do. I personally really do not. Xaphan. Again, I don't like it. Not even a little bit. It's very shiny. You can give it that. It's very, wow. It is very shiny. 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 No. Give away. Okay, assimilation time. Let's get assimilated. Hello, Deflector. Really doesn't work with the Deflector, does it? But at the same time, kind of does. Just feels weird. I like the fact that the impulse rate chose the one on the pylons. Probably would have worked better if it chose the one on the saucer, but fair play. And it's attached to the underside of the nacelle. Actually, that's kind of good. I like that. Don't like the fact that it's not angled with it, but their loss. They could have done it better, but they chose not to. Also, again, I probably would have moved that more forwards and put it at the front of the nacelle. On the upper side, but at the front. Not a bad look. Bajoran. I'm caught between that actually kind of looks good and the murky brown just doesn't suit the aesthetic. I think it's more of the murky brown doesn't suit the aesthetic, and I don't like it as a result. Counter Command variant. I'm really not sure what to say on that one. Well, I'm speechless then, aren't I? Delta Alliance Unimatrix. I'm hesitant to say I like it. Oh no, it's got kind of an issue near the front, but it's really hard to spot it, and it's kind of a saving grace. The grey and the gold looks nice together. I kind of like it. Kind of. Dyson. Well, the Dyson's nice on it, but then again... Whoa, okay, that was so bright, it actually hurt my eyes just then. Sorry to anyone else that felt the same. Hello. Turn the brightness on my screen down a little bit. Iconian. Huh. The Iconian, which normally can look really bad in certain situations, actually looks good on this. And it took... Anyone else see that? It's taken away the actual... Ooh, don't kick. It's taken away the force field straight into the hangar. I don't think I saw any of the others do that. But I could be mistaken. I'm now going to see that on almost all of them, aren't I? Lucari. With the design and the way the Lucari are, this has actually quite a fitting style. It works with the ship. I'm not a major fan of Lucari's stylistic choices, but certain elements of it I do like. Hell, I'm wearing the colony uniform, so that's got to say something. Mako Resilient. Oh wow. That's had a bit of an impact in certain areas. It's like you've got the Corvus pattern on, and then you've gone for grey, well, a bluey grey / black tones in the paint. It's interesting, I'll give it that. Nakura. This texture really needs an update, doesn't it? Come on, these lesser ones that are a bit aged, Cryptic, time to update the hulls. Make them look a little bit better. Romulan Advanced. I feel like I'm insulting this ship right now. But actually... Sorry, I had to stretch them. Come to think of it... Oh, hang on. Full sword's gone again. Come to think of it, if this was the black hull armour, that would look really good. Or if it was Vesta paint job. Put the Vesta on it. You could go for a green primary pattern, and it's possible to have made almost this entire ship look green, and then giving it green neon highlights that this Vanity shield gives it, then give it a sort of green Tron look. If you like that kind of thing. Temple Defense. Actually, this kind of makes the ship feel like a temple ship. It's the only problem with this Vesta, isn't it? It doesn't have the temple seat that it really should have been given, in my personal opinion. I like the full intel, but that temple seat was kind of important to the ship. Prevailing. Arrgh. Skipped over it, didn't I? Hello. I mean, it doesn't look too bad on the ship, but I don't think it looks great either. Definitely gives it more of a Star Wars feel. Funny. Terran Task Force. Oh, hello. Wow. I've only just realised Terran Task Force and Intel. By the way, Intel does have a paint job you can use on Intel and Intel Type 2. You can use the paint pattern Intel, which will also put on these lighter grey areas. But it turns out that Terran Task Force and Intel Type 1 are actually basically the same aesthetic, just with some minor differences. Mostly the whole coloration, this one being a sort of brownish black, and the Intel Type 1 being a blacky blue, a grey blue. No, not a chance. There's no, sorry, dielectric oscillating resilient shield array. It's the Marine shield array. I know some of you do like it, but I furiously hate it. I call it the trash bin one for a reason. It's not getting a chance on the ship. Straight to Jem'Hadar. Just saying, no. I insulted the ship with the Kelvin. I'm not insulting it with the trash bin one as well. This looks kind of nice, but again, it's one of those ones that definitely needs an update. Take that murky grey, give it a little bit of a texture overhaul. Boost the purple a little bit. It's a very pale purple. It works though, but it's very, very pale. Improve the glowing elements. Come on, Jem'Hadar really did. Jem'Hadar shields need some love. Finally, the Marmites. Always last but not least. Women Advanced Prototype. Possibly, no, actually this was my first Vanity shield I did ever get. I think that's why I like it, because it was the first one I ever got. Generally speaking, actually on this ship. Wow, that looks nice. Oh, it's definitely a love it or hate it situation, and in this situation, I love it. That is beautiful. It just well and truly overtook Platinum. My top 3 Vanity shields on this ship are as this order: Section 31, Platinum, Riemann Prototype. Wow, the ship looks beautiful. I'm going to enjoy myself from this point out. Time to go fly by and have a little fun. Guys, guess that lays in the final question. What do you think of her? I've just noticed my build is broken. Again, did I change ships on myself? Maybe. But yep, my build is broken. That's all fun, this always happens. Honestly, final score for this ship. Design wise, as an evolution to the Vesta, I give it 5 out of 10. As an Intel Vessel evolution, I'll give it 4 out of 10. And overall score, the design of this ship has done absolutely an amazing job of it. So my overall visual score for this ship is, yeah, I've been saying out of 10, haven't I? Out of 5. 5 out of 5. It gets full marks. So an evolution, as an evolution to the Intel line, it's 4 out of 5. As an evolution to the Vesta, 5 out of 5. And just overall, my final score on the ship is 5 out of 5. She's beautiful. There's nothing I would actually change about her. Nothing. That's how well she's been done, in my opinion. I can't help but fly this ship as a result. Space Barbie's the true end game. And this ship achieves Space Barbie brilliantly. I absolutely love it. What do you guys think of her? I would love to see in the comments section. Is there a ship I haven't reviewed that you would want me to review? Then please shout that out in the... Hello. Shout that out in the comment section as well, and I will try to get around to reviewing all these ships. While we're at it, I'm just saying, I'm still not reviewing the new Vulcan ship. I haven't got it yet, that's the main reason. I am so tempted to get it because of AUGGY. But hey, holding off. Till next time, guys, a massive thank you to people credited on screen right now who have helped to make this video possible. And I hopefully will see you all in the future. Please check out the description for my links if you wish to help support the channel, but you have no need to do so. Take care and live long and prosper. Ciao for now.